Hey everybody, how we doing? It's been quite some time since I've put up a video. I did change my name. Just having a little black tea with just some sweet and low in it, with a packet of gelatin, Knox gelatin, and a half a teaspoon of turmeric. But yeah, you know, I've been just doing some thoughts, some thinking, and I mean, realistically, I know there's a lot of kids out there in particular, a lot of people, men, women, adolescents, teens, or I should say, young adults, 20s, 30s. Bullying unfortunately goes on, through all ages. And mine started when I was 5, and I do feel like I was raped of my manhood. It's kind of how I call it. I started getting, small guy, small. I was a really small kid, really light, frail, and I just ever since, and it was even my friends that I hung out with. They were part of it, and then of course others, came in, girls especially. They would love to romp on me, and yeah, I mean, 5 years old, starts on the bus, starts when you get off the bus. I lived in an apartment complex at the time, so it was kind of difficult. You get off the bus and the kids are chasing you, or they're trying to throw rocks at you. I had one incident where I had a school project, and my father helped me make this awesome paper mache. Actually, it was 3D in a way. It came out from the poster board, and it was different colors. I don't know how he did it. He was okay. He was pretty good with art stuff and woodworking and things like that. So, I made this great hot air balloon on a poster board, and on the bus, the kids were asking to see it. I believe that's what happened, because yeah, they were asking to see it, and I didn't want to let it go, obviously, because I knew it would probably get destroyed. And obviously, since I didn't let them see it when I got off the bus, they all picked up rocks, and I mean, I was running trying to deflect it, but they rocked the whole thing and ruined it. And that's a memory starting at 5. And it kind of goes up. The bullying stayed through 10, 11, 12. Went to a private school from 8th to 10th. So, and it was only about 50-55 kids in the whole school, specialized in learning disabilities, and kind of taught me how I needed to learn based on my specific learning disabilities and my perceptions and cognitive abilities and such. And, I did do some college at a community college and whatnot, and I never finished. Confidence has always been a problem for me, always been an issue. And, it's just made my life real difficult. And, the bullying aspect of everything is, can really rein in on your life, because of the fact that, you're just, I didn't stand up for myself. And then, you come to a point in your life where now you feel like you can, but it's not like I can go on Facebook. Well, I kind of have sent some messages to some bullies in the past, but it's not like at 42 I can, call them out and, fight them, which is what I wish I could, but I can't. I mean, obviously I'd get arrested and it'd be a whole slew of problems, excuse me. But, I'm just kind of, I want to make, I just want to have some, I just want kind of my talks to just kind of be about, what I am, what I went through, and hopefully it can relate out there to others that might be struggling with the same things, and not let these issues, I'm an ugly guy, I'll admit that. I've been ugly my whole life, especially growing up. And, don't have the best facial structure, so that's why I have a beard. So obviously it's going to be tough to see the specifics. But if I were to shave my face, we're going to be talking a whole nother ball game there. So, I admit that. I'm a man without ego. I feel like I'm really ugly. And I don't like my face. I don't like anything about myself. And, I don't care to admit it because it's the facts of what be for me, plain and simple. And I know there's a lot of people that feel the same way. I know bullying and, getting told certain things and getting told you look like a chipmunk or you look like a fish or you look like an owl on crack or, you look like a rat or, you look like, if I kind of, go like this, I feel like I look like a carp. So I'm just being honest with people out there because I want you all to know that this guy right here will self-mutilate himself in the sense of verbally because of the fact I'll tear myself down. I do it every day, and I'll do it in front of anybody because I don't give a shit. They say something, well, this is what's going to happen if they make the first move, But I'm a peaceful guy. I'm not confrontational. Like I said, I don't have any confidence. I have bad OCD, bad depression, bad PTSD through the bullying and through different relationships where I've been, from 96 up until 2000, I got ripped apart by a few girls, by two in particular, ripped apart. They took my whole world down and crumbled it and crushed it, basically took my heart out, stomped it, and left whatever it was and threw it back in. And I'm a good person. I try to help anybody. If anybody out there had a workout question, had a diet question, had anything, I'd go out of my way. I'd talk to you on the phone. I'd write you a program. I'd help you out, and I wouldn't ask for a damn thing. It's just who I am. Not many people are like that. If there are a lot of people on YouTube and they give their tidbits and they give their workout tidbits and this, that, and this, but that's all you get. To get to actually speak to somebody or to mentor many, if you want to call it, it's going to be a tough one to come by. Me, I'd be out there to help whoever I could, whether that be a conversation on the phone, whether that be an email. However, I just want to let people know that I'm here. I have a lot of hurt inside. I hurt every day. I do cry a lot. And I have a lot of built up, emotion that I haven't worked through and that I haven't got through yet. And it sucks because I can see how if I had fixed it in my 20s or my 30s, then maybe by now I'd be more successful in life. And that's my problem. And then that's the problem out there that, no matter how you feel about yourself or no matter what people are doing or telling you, you got to try to just let that go, or you got to try to just put it somewhere else and just focus on where you want to be. Focus on what your passions are, what drives you, what motivates you, what brings you to the human being that you feel you are, or what can you do to become the human being that you want to become, or that you feel that you are, but maybe you want to be a little bit better, if that makes any sense. This is all off the top. Like many say, I don't edit. It's raw feed. If I slip up and I stumble, we all do. Leave it, Mistakes are good. Mistakes you learn from. We should all make mistakes and never be ashamed for that. And, nowadays, mistakes are good. This is good. We're kind of watered down plants, if you want to call it. There's a little more, which is good. There's a little more compassion, but there's a lot of non-compassion as well. And a lot of bad bullying situations and, a lot of stuff that goes on. And So, I'm going to try to be coming with some videos, talking about topics of, being ugly, what it's like to, desire women and, desire relationships and having issues with that because you're too self-conscious to go up to a woman and speak. You're too self-conscious to, go anywhere where, I mean, I'm not into bars or clubs anymore, but even when I was, unless I was really drunk or something, not drunk to where I was out of coherent, but, loosened up enough to where I could. But when you're told so many times you're too short or you're too small or, you're not tall enough or you don't weigh enough, it kind of just makes you feel, this big in a world that's, huge. And, when I go out, I feel, this big. And it's very difficult for me to go out. It is extremely difficult. I am prescribed Xanax, and, that helps, but I've been on it since 2000, so I'm adapted to it. So it just takes the edge off, but it's not like 20 years ago where, 19 years ago where, I would take my prescription. And at that time, I was on a couple milligrams, but then I went up to 5 milligrams a day. But even when I was on 3 and 4, when you're fresh to the medicine, it's like you find your saving grace. And I remember going to restaurants alone even, and not having any phobia of who was looking at me because I was influenced by the pill. And now that pill has made me more paranoid and more phobic, I think, and more withdrawn from society and harder to talk to people. It's tough. And like I said, I want people to know that you're definitely not alone, and I'm sure you're not alone, but I'm going to be talking about these topics, and just letting what it's like as an ugly man. And I'll say it again, and I love saying it, I mean, my glasses, I do need new glasses. I have the money for them, but I'm too lazy to I don't want to deal with the social situation of having to go through all that. And then the obsessive situation of picking out the frames. And these are from 2008 and they're outdated. So that could be half the problem. And they don't fit my face right because I've lost weight. And at the time when I had them, I was heavier. So, they look too big for my face. That might be another issue. So if they say you're supposed to walk in humility, I do it every friggin' day. I walk in humility every time I go out. I do say a lot. I try to not say that, but it's just part of when I'm trying to figure out what to say, and I know I'm probably just kind of rambling at this point. But I'll be back with some content, and hopefully maybe some people give me some suggestions on some topics to talk about, and I'd love to come back and try to work on my channel again. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great one, everyone. Thank you so much.